Two-shot expert today. Hell yeah. Hi, what's going on, guys? My name is SPC Bourlier. I am one of the medics with 316. You guys might see me on your other ranges. We're going to be doing a class on different types of litters you guys will be seeing in your CLS class. You guys are getting a little sneak peek into it. Okay?
Come fucking get this class.
So, there are three main types of litters that you're going to be using, right? Or sorry, four, correction. You have a rigid litter, which is just like this one right here, right? We call it rigid because it doesn't bend. Another form of a rigid litter is also a talon litter, which is the foldable ones that we see in the backpacks. You guys might have seen them already. We have a Sked Training, which is the one that we're going to be focusing on today. You have an improvised litter, and then you also have a Polish litter, right? Polish litter is just basically a blanket with a handle. So, different situations will require you to use different litters, right? Over flatter terrain and terrain that you're maybe not going to roll an ankle on, or it's easy for you to walk straight, the rigid litter is going to be the one that you go to if you have enough people to do a 4 to 5 man litter team. Okay? If you're going over rocky terrain or terrain that might be like sandy, something that is easy to drag on, you're going to be using the Sked Training. For something quick, you have your Polish litter, which usually comes all folded up. You can just floor out like a blanket, put them on it and go. You have your improvised in case you don't have a litter. Okay? So, good thing about the Sked Training, and a bad thing, it takes a while to set up, as you will see. But this litter can also be used to hoist a casualty into a helicopter. In case you are in terrain just like this and you do not have an LZ, they can drop a line down, you hook them up, and they go. Okay? Has anybody here, fire service or civilian life, ever used a litter or anything like that? You have? Okay. Carrier? So, Carrier is going to be the one to help me out. So, this is a Sked Training, all wrapped up. To undo a Sked Training, if it is packed correctly, is your 2-foot strap should be wrapped around, just as simple as pulling one side out and releasing. Okay? When you get it open, do you think you can carry a casualty like that? Carrier, go ahead and try to get it open. See if he does it right. Do me a favor. Or no, actually keep going. Let's see what you get.
Have to move the casualty on, otherwise it'll roll back.
Let go and stand up. Let go and stand up. So, trying to get a casualty on this is going to be a pain in the ass. What you do, stand behind me, is you take one side. I tend to kind of unroll it with my foot, step on it, and then you bend it back onto itself. Okay? You're basically just folding it. These things are pretty fucking sturdy. So you can step on them if you have to. Do the same with the other side. Bend it back onto itself. If it doesn't go, keep doing it. A lot easier to get a casualty onto that. So, with the Sked Training, unlike other litters, you have a designated head spot and a designated feet spot. Okay? On this litter here, on a rigid, you can put them head this way or head that way, it doesn't matter. Your Sked Training, your green strap, which is this one right here, okay? This is your head. Their head will always be closest to the green strap. Their feet go by the 2 black straps. Got it? Yes. Any questions so far? Okay. Before we go about setting up the sked, does anybody here know who would be in charge of the litter team if you had a 4-man litter team? No one? That's fine. It is always the man who is up by the head on the flag side or your patient's right side. They are always the ones that will give the preparatory command and the command of execution to lift that casualty. If you are not the head man, you wait until you hear that command of execution. So if you pick up the casualty on any litter and one person's out of sync, there's a chance you're going to drop your dude. Got it? Yes. We all know what a preparatory command is, right?
Yes.
Right? So if I wanted to lift a casualty and I was a head man, prepare to lift, my command of execution is lift. Okay? So, now that we all understand that, the thing about the Sked is really cool is you can drag them with that handle, or there are 4 handles on it, you can actually lift them. Okay? So, I don't know how to say it loud. Good push. Come here. Lay down. So you guys will go over this in CLS. Depending on your casualty's wounds, where they are at, what he has, what major wounds take priority over what wounds will determine which way you log roll them. Okay, I'm not going to get into that now. That's a whole class in itself. Take your camera back off.
Can I attempt to answer this, specialist?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you take his right shoulder, place it over his chest, roll him, grab him by the belt, roll him up, and then place the literature under him?
Close.
Or
So, I'm going to roll him.
Split.
Turn your body this way. Okay. So, if I'm trying to roll him towards me, right, you'll never roll away from you. You always roll towards yourself. You will take the leg that is away from you, cross ankle, the arm that is closest to you, up towards his head. You can take this arm and cross his chest, doesn't really matter. You'll take one hand on the belt, one hand on his shirt. If you cut his shirt off because he has a chest injury, try to get your hand as far back as possible. So for this, I'll have my hand back here. You'll go 1, 2, 3. You'll lift him up. When you log roll somebody, don't have him on the ground like this, because it's hard to get the litter under there. You want to have him up on your legs. Okay, because it's a lot easier to slide a litter, especially a rigid litter, underneath him when he's off the ground. Okay? So, it doesn't matter what side you roll him on or you put the litter underneath, as long as the head part is at the head, feet part is at the feet. So, carrier, you're going to carry that thing. I'm going to log roll him. Okay, so, litter's correct. He's going to go back down. So, he's kind of at an angle, right? I need to make sure that he's in the middle of the litter, or it's going to be all wonky when I put it together. When you're treating a casualty, you will never straddle them except for at this point, when you move them on a litter is the only time you will ever straddle your casualty. Okay? What you will do, since he's small, I can do it by myself. But someone like Uribe, who's over in that platoon, big motherfucker, right? Might need 2 people. Yeah. What's up? Oh, yes. So, you will never move a casualty side to side. 1, if they have a possible back injury, you're going to screw that up even more. 2, it's just don't do it. It looks weird and they never get in the right spot. So you go in kind of an end pattern, right? You move them towards their feet, then up towards their head, towards their feet, head, until they're in the middle of the litter. Okay? You'll come, you'll grab his belt, you'll move him down, and then up. And what you're looking for on smaller casualties This headpiece must be pulled over their ACH, and their 2 feet will stick out of the holes when I put it together. Bigger cavities, the headpiece won't fold. Someone tall like me, you just don't fit on these. Okay? So, now is when you get your straps together. Each sked has 4 straps. When you do this, you come to the edge of the sked, doesn't matter what side. I tend to do it on the side with the clips because that's how I've always done it. You'll notice there's no right way to do this, there's no wrong way to do this as long as it gets done correctly. Okay? You don't have to start at the head, you don't have to start at the feet. Make sure they all get put together. I tend not to tighten them down until I have all 4 done, because if that cavity is on there any sort of wrong way, I can move him. If I tighten him down all the way and I need to move him, I gotta undo the straps and redo them. Got it? Yes, sir. So we're all seeing kind of how long a sked takes, right? Yes, sir. So, in a situation where you have to get out of the area quick, think a sked's gonna be the right one? No, not at all. So, we got all 4 in. I need to make sure that he is in the right spot. I will take this. Now, these straps right here, for those who cannot see, there's an empty eyelet on the bottom of the sked towards the feet. These straps will go up, under, and through the eyelet. Just like this. Make sure when you do it too, that you do not go over this bottom strap. You want to go underneath it. And then this, same thing. You go through the second one, back through the first one. Okay? This one I will tighten down all the way before I tighten the other ones down. Now, I start tightening these down. These don't have to be super tight where you're like killing them, but they have to be tight enough to hold him in here. Once you're all done tightening the straps up, take your excess straps, tuck them into the sked itself. Now you're ready to move. Can anybody tell me an advantage of being able to drag your casualty?
It only takes 1 man to do it.
Only takes 1 man. Anything else? You can do it with 1 hand, which means what? You can have your weapon free to engage if you get to engage. Anything else? You can go over almost every terrain. Sand, rocks.
He's already basically in a prone position, so if you come under fire, you can hit the casualty.
Well, every litter is going to be in a prone position.
But I mean, when
You're right, though, yes.
That's up in the air, especially if necessary.
So, cool thing about a sked, right? They come in 2 different. The head straps will come in 2 different ways. One, just how this one is, a basic knot tied strap. One you'll other see, or you'll other possibly see. Sorry, I can't talk today. Is these other eyelets will be utilized. Is to lose the strap. You pull on the outside, basically get some slack, and then you pull on the inside one to give yourself more slack for the head strap. Got it? So, you can do a backwards with 1 hand. This one is a little small, but if you wanted to, you extend the strap. You would be able to bring it to the small of your back and walk backwards. This this one also, you can bring waistline and walk. Okay? Any questions on the sked so far? Check on learning. Hand. How do you know someone's in charge of a litter?
Person that's to the right of the casualty or at their head.
At the head to the right, not more. Okay. The previs? What is this sked called? Oh, right there. Sked. What is that one called? A rigid litter, yes. Oh, litter. You're right. Who thinks they could run a team, get a casualty in this, and transport it step by step to how I just did it?